What's up, fight fans? Thank you once again for coming through. Much appreciated. Honestly, much appreciated. A couple of people have asked me on my Twitter page as to my thoughts on Lomachenko Rigondeaux. Obviously now Bob Arum has mentioned it. And I think it's the first time Bob Arum has mentioned the possibility of Rigondeaux fighting Lomachenko. He mentioned two names for Lomachenko's next fight. Salido, who obviously beat Lomachenko in his second pro fight for a world title, and Rigondeaux. Those are the two names he's mentioned. Obviously Twitter, wouldn't say it went into hysteria because no one really talking about that obviously with McGregor and Mayweather, but Twitter did somewhat blow up a little bit. Does that make sense? Is that almost a contradictory statement? Blow up a little bit. It blew up anyway for a while. Everyone's been calling for this fight. I watched interviews. Max Kellerman, I know I refer to him a lot because I think he's the best in the business. But I watched Max Kellerman interview about 3 years ago and he talked about this fight potentially happening. So here we are, 3 years later. Lomachenko has moved up in weight. Rigondeaux, like every other single human being on this planet, has got 3 years older. Rigondeaux is now, what, 36? And Lomachenko, I think, has probably just got better and better. He's what, 29, 30, so he's right now at his peak when Rigondeaux clearly isn't at his peak. He's still a very, very good fighter. But even Rigondeaux admits to you, Rigondeaux at 36 isn't the same Rigondeaux at 32 or 31. So, look, I fully understand how people have this in their dream fights. In the back of their mind, it's like the dream fight, right? So you've got a two-time Olympic champion with one of the best amateur records of all time, Rigondeaux, numerous times world champion, numerous times whatever. He's won too many amateur titles, it's ridiculous. And then you've got a guy called Lomachenko who's come through, and again, a two-time Olympic champion, numerous European championships, numerous world championships, has a ridiculous record, I think. He's only lost once. Only lost once. I think it's 495 and 1 or something just incomprehensible. So I can understand that everyone thinks, oh my God, this is going to be the matchup of all matchups and the matchup of all time. And look, star-wise, it's fantastic. You've got two guys that are just pure boxers. They actually make boxing look simple. And it's strange because growing up, I thought Floyd Mayweather made boxing look simple. I even to an extent thought Bernard Hopkins made boxing, which I think is so difficult, look simple. I've tried boxing myself a couple of times, and let me tell you, it is so difficult. That's an understatement. So when I see two guys making it look as simple as they do, that you must have to question, like, how. But I can see how everyone wants to see this matchup. Makes sense, right? Look, I have a few problems with it. First of all, I don't think it's going to happen. Bob Arum said it will happen or might happen, so that means it's not going to happen. Bob Arum, remember, this is the same Bob Arum that says Lomachenko is the next best thing to Muhammad Ali. It's the same Bob Arum that said Pacquiao is the next best thing to Ali. Same Bob Arum that said Mayweather. This is just Bob Arum for you. He talks a lot of shit right now, especially as he's got older. And if you like, his stable is starting to crumble. Let's be honest, Bob Arum probably only has Lomachenko and Crawford. Neither are big stars, neither are pay-per-view stars really yet. Crawford might be the undisputed light welterweight champion of the world, but he's not a pay-per-view draw right now. Bob Arum is struggling. Lomachenko done really bad numbers for Mariaga, and I think that surprised a lot of people. So I think right now, I'm not going to say he's desperate, but he's got to link. He himself has got to link those two names. Everyone's been calling for Salido and Rigondeaux. He's got to say Lomachenko's going to fight one of those because people are just not going to stand for anything else. So I think it's almost a sign of desperation. Okay, I've got to say Rigondeaux, I've got to say Salido because clearly Lomachenko isn't a star yet. I thought he was going to be in terms of a draw. He's definitely a star in terms of his boxing ability, but that doesn't relate to pounds and pence or dollars. You've got to become a star doing more than just fancy footwork skills in the ring. I think he's scared of Rigondeaux. Look, you don't have any stars and you want to try and chuck one of your supremely talented fighters to a wolf, a hungry, desperate wolf like Rigondeaux, as good as Lomachenko is that a risk he's willing to take? If Rigondeaux ices Lomachenko, which is definitely possible, he's kind of left with one star. I don't think he's going to do that, especially when boxing right now, every single promoter is trying to hang on to that one boxing star they have. Everyone's desperate. You look around at all the top promoters, everyone's maybe got 1 or 2 stars. Golden Boy are desperately hanging on to Canelo, Matchroom, Andy Joshua. Everyone's got one. Everyone's got one. Main events, Kovalev. No one really has 3, 4, 5. They just don't right now. So it's very. I'd be surprised if he was to risk. He's one of his only superstars to Rigondeaux. He done that before with Danair, and Danair got iced by Rigondeaux. So I don't see how that happens. They're 2 weights apart now, guys. They're 2 weight divisions apart. Yes, in the low weight class, we're only talking a few pounds, but nonetheless, Rigondeaux fights at 122 pounds. Now, Lomachenko fights at 130. I thought, with all this talk, there's a potential for them to meet at 126, which I think is fair. Lomachenko not so long ago was fighting at 126. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. Lomachenko does not struggle to make the 130 mark. Lomachenko can make 126. He doesn't want to do it. He mentioned in the video that, look, you see guys making weight, but they struggle, they look rubbish on the night. He doesn't want to do it. He thinks the weight drains too much for him. I disagree. I think he wants every single advantage he can get if he takes the fight. And one of those advantages is making Rigondeaux pile on the pounds. Rigondeaux's speed is frightening. You add weight to that speed, it does start to slow down in the later rounds. The power starts to drop a bit. And Lomachenko will take full advantage of that if they were to meet. Lomachenko is very, very tiny, people. There was talk a few years back about a possibility of Lomachenko facing Chocolito at 118. So Chocolito coming up, Rigondeaux facing Chocolito at 118. Rigondeaux coming down, Chocolito coming up a bit. If Rigondeaux can make 118, and we're saying this fight is going to be at 130, yes, I know it was a few years ago, but you know, there's never fat on him. This guy's a tiny guy. So I think it's almost unfair to ask this guy to come up to 130 and everyone to think, oh, this is 100% Rigondeaux against 100% Lomachenko. It's not. That's like a 60% Rigondeaux against 100% Lomachenko. And that's just not fair. That's just not fair at all. If this fight doesn't happen at 126, this fight should just not happen. I think Rigondeaux coming up is wrong. Could Rigondeaux come in at 127? Possibly. But I can imagine Bob Arum doing something sneaky and saying he has to come in around 120, 129, the lightest, which would be wrong. Could it happen because Lomachenko needs it to happen? Yeah. I don't think people are happy with Lomachenko's recent fights. Even the Martinez one, I think the only fights people are really happy with is maybe, and I disagree with this, but I think Gary Russell Jr. and Salido, I think people look at the other opponents and like, yeah, he's looking flashy, but who's he looking flashy against? Again, if you look at the other opponent's records, he's fighting decent guys, but none of the top guys. Look, he's only had, 9 fights or so, which is ridiculous, but nonetheless, for someone with his talent, people want to see him do what he does against the best people. Can he do that? We're not 110% sure yet. Rigondeaux will be that, definitely. Even if it's a Rigondeaux a bit weighty at 127, 128. Rigondeaux's still a big name. He's not going to put him in against Mikey Garcia. I think Mikey Garcia's a bit big, too big for him right now. So there's not really that much floating around at 130 that it's a draw. Rigondeaux's not a draw, but them two together make something somewhat. I don't know if it's going to be pay-per-view. I don't know if people would pay to watch that. This is two guys that barely speak English. Lomachenko's getting a bit better on American soil. I doubt it does pay-per-view. And that's why I doubt that they can afford to put it together. Rigondeaux isn't expensive to get, but nonetheless, he still knows it's a big fight and will ask for big money. Lomachenko will definitely ask for big money. So can you do a fight like that on normal broadcast? Normal HBO? I don't know, but in terms of me wanting to see the fight, yes, a couple of years ago. Now with the weight differential, now with Rigondeaux being 36, I don't want Lomachenko to smoke Rigondeaux, a 36-year-old Rigondeaux, and say I beat the Rigondeaux. You didn't. You know, and that's what's unfair for me. If it happens at 126, definitely. Happens at 130, a guy 36 years of age putting on those extra pounds, not convinced.